Ronald Reagan says to the world leaders. Pay attention to this because it plays a part in today's what's happening today.
Which unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound.
That is going viral. It's being featured everywhere. Everybody is asking me about it. And that is this piece of video you're seeing here with people pointing out that this guy looks to be holding what at least appears to be a fake arm and a fake hand. And as you're seeing the video here, notice how broad and how large his overcoat is compared to the other.
How fucking scared these white folks is. It's 7:45 in the morning, and look, already you got airplanes coming from each directional side. This is a chemtrail right outside my home. Right outside my home. They spraying that shit in the air right outside my home. Peace and love to all the goddesses and gods who see the God in me. I wanted to touch base on a few things today. One of the things I wanted to talk about is that when I post things on my page, it's to make you think. Every day you should be using this muscle right here, both sides, the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain. You should be using those muscles every day to learn something new. To all the goddesses and gods who see the God in me, I wanted to touch on nature just a little bit because, like I told you, I look at and study nature, science, and astronomy. Now, the Europeans has given you a book and made you believe that they're studying this book, but the whole time they're studying nature, science, astronomy, and as well as you, black woman and black man.
We have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged.
I would have put the pats in, I just can't.
You're a slave to the record.
I would have put the pats in, I just can't.
You're a slave to the record. Okay.
I am.
The work of Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop, the brilliant Senegalese scholar, who wrote a book, The African Origins, Myth or Reality, Civilization or Barbarism, the Cultural Unity of Black Africa. And as he developed his understanding, he said that for a people to oppress another people, this has nothing to do with African culture or European culture, this is people to people. If you want to oppress a people, there are three things that you take from them. You take their history, you take their language, and you take their psychological factor. Their psychological factor are what we call VIPs. Dr. Leonard Jeffries calls them the values, the interests, and the principles of a people. Take those from them. Take their history, take their language, take their values, interests, and principles, and then superimpose your history, your language, your values, interests, and principles on them, and no matter what conclusion they come to in the challenge they face, they will always act in the interest of the oppressor that took their history, language, and their values.
That didn't happen, and that's why I over-exaggerated that part. Why did you do that?
Friends, family, how are you? I wanted to touch base with y'all today because I wanted to drop some information here. I was talking to a loved one or a friend the other day, someone that I once held dear to my heart, and all they can, when they look at me, is they remember the old me, and couldn't fathom for 1 second that I'm not that dude that used to run the streets. I'm not that dude that used to destroy his community and his people. I'm not that dude, because that was something that was indoctrinated in me, something that was forced upon me to believe that it was cool, but it's not. When you turn on the TVs as a youth, you see the action hero movies, Menace to Society, old dog turning the gun to the side, shooting, everybody selling drugs, having fun. You know what? That's supposed to be the life for African Americans. That's supposed to be the life for black people. That's not our life. It was never like that. We never killed each other. We never sold drugs to each other. We never lied and deceived one another. We cared and loved one another.
We're going to talk about something called melanin. It's what everyone is concerned about in the world. It's what they have a meeting about every 3 to 5 years. Germany, Italy, France, the U.S., they meet every 3 to 5 years and have a melanin convention and discuss the latest research in melanin. They have never invited a black scientist to that meeting in history.